What's up YouTube? Bad Minotaur here, and today's video is Camping 101 class setup. What classes does Bad Minotaur use to camp in Black Ops 3? Well, today I'm going to answer that question. Let's just get right into it. First, my main camping class. This is the class that I would primarily take in anytime I'm going into a match. This would be the first thing that I take. Now, talk about primary weapon. This is just an example, but you can use any assault rifle you want, any LMG that you're comfortable with. You can even use sniper rifles. If your camping spot is only for close engagements, by all means, put a shotgun on there, put a submachine gun on there. You're not restricted by what I'm saying here. For argument's sake, I just put an assault rifle on there. But optics. The thermal sight. Let's talk about that for a second. It will light them up. You can see them, unless they expend a perk to prevent you, they will light up like a light at night. You cannot miss them. The downfall to it is that you have almost no peripheral vision. It really obstructs your view quite a bit. Now, the ELO sight is basically like a reflex sight without the frame around it. There's almost no obstruction to your view whatsoever. Very good sight. But the one that I prefer is the BOA3. This one is a reflex sight also with a very small frame, but the frame highlights red whenever there's an enemy in your field of view. Now what makes this good is sometimes they just got a toe sticking out, sometimes just the top of their head sticking out. And you would miss it if you were just scanning with your eyes. But this will light up red around the outside, and you'll go, whoa, there's somebody there. And that's what I really like about this sight, so it's the one that I use. Attachments. Grip. Reduced recoil while aiming down the sight. This is a must-have attachment for any assault rifle or LMG when you're camping. Long barrel. I definitely like to use this on my assault rifles because it doubles the effective 3-shot kill range. And that's just an amazing attachment. And then I like to put primary gunfighter and extended mags because I tend to run out of ammo when I'm camping because I go a long time without dying. Looks like my buddy Typhon Gamer came online, but oh well, he can wait. Now, lethal. I don't take any secondary, but lethal is C4. Now I have tried the trip mines, tried shock charges, but C4 is hands down the most useful attachment or equipment rather, for camping. You throw it down behind you in a direction they're going to approach, or through a doorway or whatever, and it will set off an alarm and flash C4 in red on your screen when an enemy gets near it. I do not even detonate it. I just use it as an early warning device so I can turn and have a chance to win the engagement behind me when I know they're coming. If I detonate it, I get to kill one enemy and it's over. But if I leave it there and just let it go off every time they come by, it could warn me 3, 4, 5 enemies. So this is what I use. Perk 1, Sixth Sense. By now you know that when an enemy is close by, a little red cone appears on your minimap to show you the direction in which the opponent is approaching you. Or the outside rim of your minimap will indicate red, which will tell you that the enemy is close, but he is either above you or below you. That's a useful tip. Perk 2, Hardwired. When they throw up counter UAVs, which happens quite often because it's a low score streak, your minimap will go fuzzy. Running this perk will stop that. In addition to that, if they are running the Sixth Sense perk themselves, it will reduce your signature so that they don't see it. It has some other things that it does too. Stops you from triggering trip mines, shock charges, or the C4 alarm. But since you are camping, you usually don't have that problem. Your biggest pain in the rear is when your opponents are running this, because they'll run right past your stuff. Awareness is perk 3. If you're using a headset, and you should be, if you care about your game at all, you should be running at the very minimum, some Turtle Beach stereo headset. I personally am running the Astro A4s, but this will allow you to hear the enemy coming and give you an indication of the direction that they're coming from. These three perks together combine to give you a very effective awareness of when enemies are near you, and it will save your life a lot. So that is my main camping class. Now the other three are situational. If they start throwing a bunch of grenades, start throwing lethals at me, I will switch to my trophy class, which once again I just put an LMG on there for as an example. For illustrative purposes was the words I was struggling to find. Optics, same thing. I use the same sight, the BOA3. Attachments, the grip, for the same reason, reduce recoil. And you don't get a long barrel with the LMG, so I put extended mags on there. Once again, no secondary. Lethal is going to be C4, of course. Tactical trophy systems. Each trophy system will only destroy like 2 lethals, so you can take 2 and then use the same perks. Another alternative is to drop one of these, drop one of these, and then take another attachment, say fast mags. That's another alternative to this. But you just decide which way you prefer better. So that's if they're throwing a bunch of lethals and tacticals at me. Next class, 2x-C4, 2 times C4. This class is designed if my camping spot has 2 approaches behind me, and I can only cover 1 with a C4. I will take this class and throw 1 at each place. Now this only works though if both places you're covering are behind you. You can't throw 1 in front and 1 behind, otherwise when it goes off you have no idea which way to look. So for example, there's one camping spot where I put the C4 down on the trash can, and anybody running on the ground will pass it, but there is a wall running route above it that will not set my C4 off. Now they both come out in the same place behind me, but I can only cover 1, so I take this class, I throw 1 at the trash can, 1 up on the wall, so that no matter which way they come, I hear them approaching me. And that's the purpose of this class. Now the final class I call Score Streaks. It's really an anti-Score Streaks class, because what do you do when the opponent calls out a Wraith? Or they call out Raps, or a Mothership. They call out these big score streaks that will put the hurt on you. Immediately, as soon as they call them out, I hit start, I go to choose class, and I put my Score Streaks class for when I die. So if the Wraith gets me, he just gets me once. The same thing, if the Raps get me, they get me once. And it's the same thing, we put our whatever gun we want on, our same attachments, but this time as a secondary, we're going to take the XM53. Now, you say, why not the Black Sail? It gets 4 shots when the XM53 only gets 2. And the reason for me is, I can also in emergency use this to shoot at a person, at an opponent, but you can't with the Black Sail. And if they've got so much stuff in the sky that 2 shots don't take it down, you're in big trouble anyway. But you can take the Black Sail if you prefer. I personally choose the XM53. Lethal, of course, is going to be the C4, and the tactical is the trophy system. But here's the meat of it right here. Blind Eye. Cannot be targeted by enemy aircraft weapon systems. That means the Wraith will not shoot you, and while he's busy, the Wraith is busily shooting at your teammates, you can use your XM53 or Black Sail to shoot it out of the sky. Also, Cold-Blooded, perk 2. Now, this protects you against ground-based score streaks. For example, Cerberuses that aren't, Cerberuses that are being automated. If the person's in it, obviously they can control, and they're controlling it. They can. But Raps, things like that, they will not see you. They cannot kill you. Engineer will show the Raps, show the Mothership, show the Wraith, highlighted in red on your map and on your screen when you're just looking around. So this helps you locate the things so that you can shoot them with your XM53. Now, as soon as the score streak is gone, you hit start again and go choose back to whichever class you were using beforehand. But the purpose of score streaks is if you are to die by a big score streak, you only die once. You minimize the number of deaths that you incur. Now, next, let's talk about specialists. Nomad is by far, if you're a camper, the best specialist, hands down. The hives that you put out, they are amazing. One thing I do want to note, though, that when you die, your hives go away after a few seconds. So once you place your hives out, try your very best to stay alive. It's always good to stay alive, but nothing's worse than getting your hive and putting them out and then dying immediately and not getting a single kill with them. If you're early in the game, you know, I used Outrider with her vision pulse so I could see through walls until I got to Nomad. But Nomad is the one that you... and score streaks, use whatever you can get. You know, wherever your skill level is, whatever you think that you can get, that's what you use. The ones that I find that are complete crap, I hate the HCXD because I usually drive it out and get hit and get killed while it's out looking for people, and I get 1 kill, 1 death. The dart I'm complete crap with. I can't aim this thing at all. It's horrible. But those are the only 2 that I really hate. The Hailstorm Missile and Lightning Strike, I hardly ever get kills with them. I try. I don't know. They're almost not worth it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on score streaks and on class setups in general. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, Bad Minotaur out.